Shalom. First, I want to say all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Makakodash, the ones to the elder apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, that's laboring. Shalom to the holy elect of the nation of Israel, Yashar Allah. With the tension going on with Russia and America, the U.S., things are heating up. And the first thing that came to my mind, watching this past week of the tensions, and not only just this past week, but ever since Joe Biden took office as the president of the U.S. in Babylon, he's been poking at Russia. Now, I'm going to read this article, and I got some precepts also. I'm going to go into the prophecy of Russia and America clashing in this World War III, which the scriptures speak about Armageddon, the mountain of troops, which in the Hebrew is a Hamagad one, and the main or the number one nation or country that's going to come up against Babylon is Gog and Magog, which I'm going to get. I'm going to get that as well, in the scriptures, So let's go right to it. This is an article from the New York Post. It says Russia reportedly adds to military muscle in Black Sea region amid U.S. tensions. Yeah, right now you got Ukraine. It's strategic to U.S. and the rest of NATO to try and surround Russia's borders, because they're trying to squeeze Russia because they know that Russia is a powerful country, and then they know that the Ukraine was once a part of the Soviet Union, and they've been, for many years now, U.S. and NATO have been pushing up Russia on its borders to try to keep Russia in check, so to speak. And so Russia is very serious about Ukraine because they know that the U.S. is trying to push up troops directly to its border. All right. So Ukraine is a strategic country. All right. Amid the tensions. Let's get into the article. It says Russia continued to ramp up its military presence in the Black Sea over the weekend as 2 more warships and 15 smaller vessels moved to the waterway amid heightened tensions between Washington and Moscow. The 2 Russian ships capable of carrying tanks and armored vehicles as well as troops for coastal assault traveled through the Bosphorus Strait in Turkey on Saturday, Reuters reported. Now, when you go into NATO, Turkey is a part of NATO, but if you notice, for the past few years, about 2 years or so, give or take, Turkey has actually been very cooperative with Russia amid, military drills and buying the Russian S-400s. Turkey being part of NATO, the U.S. got angry with Turkey and was speaking out against Turkey, and Turkey didn't care because the U.S. was basically downplaying and disrespecting Turkey's role within NATO. So that's one ally of the U.S. that is basically going against the U.S. Before the whole globe to see, and everyone knows that Turkey is a part of NATO. With their leader Erdogan. It says, excuse me, where I'm at now. It says more naval reinforcements, including landing ships from the Baltic Fleet, are expected to arrive at the Black Sea in the coming days to support the thousands of troops and armored vehicles already in position near Russia's eastern border with Ukraine. Yeah, um, the U.S. is responsible for the civil war that Ukraine had, and the turmoil and the coup that was within Ukraine, because the U.S. ultimately wants Ukraine to be a part of NATO. All right, and so knowing that it was part of the USSR, the Soviet Union, um, Ukraine has a lot of Russian citizens, if you will. Right? They pretty much the same, right? Because it was once a part of it, and you have a lot of Ukrainians that are actually Russian. And it's been going on, infighting been going on within Ukraine. All right, it says the Biden administration last Thursday scrubbed sending two U.S. warships to the Black Sea after the Kremlin warned, stay away for your own good to the deployment. Yeah, Russia was actually Russia was actually what I was going to say basically Russia was basically sending warnings back at the U.S. All right, let me grab some scriptures here real quick. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. And remember too about Turkey. Turkey is Togomar. I got an actual map I pulled up on Google from Google, because you can Google, the biblical landmass of Gog and Magog and Turgamar and all that, because it's a part of prophecy, and Turkey plays a part of it. That's going to come against the U.S. Babylon. All right. Now let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, starting at verse 1. It says, "And the word of Yahweh came, excuse me, and the word of Yahweh Shem Yahshua came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech, and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus said the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech, and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." Now, that's talking about the military might of Russia, which everyone knows that Russia is superior to the U.S. as far as militarily. And the U.S. knows it. That's why, the U.S. has so many allies. They try to rally up so many countries to go against Russia, because Russia is powerful. Because when the whole Germany, ambitions broke down. Basically, Germany ambitions through Adolf Hitler, but they broke down a lot of those sciences that was within Germany, which was teeming. They went up into Russia, and they created, the Most High put the spirit of them scientists to create powerful weaponry. Atomic bombs. The nuclear bomb. And all that. And so Russia has always been more advanced than the U.S. as far as in weaponry. You know, and the U.S. knows it. All right, the U.S. knows it. When Russia displays its weapons, you can see the different type of weaponry they have within their arsenal. I did a video about. I did a couple videos on Russia's military capability. All right. Now, if you look, this is on Google. It's a map, right? You see Russia. It says Magog, and you see below it would be Gog, which is Georgia, and then Turgamar. You see that's Turkey. All right. And I simply typed in biblical Gog and Magog map today, and this is through Google. All right. You can just Google it. So, going back to the scripture, right? The Most High putting hooks into the jaws of Gog and Magog, which is Russia, and turning it back. Meaning what? He's turning, he's creating tension all right, between Russia and the U.S. because Russia is going to be the main country, or the main military that comes out against Babylon, the layer desolate. That's the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, you know when it mentions in verse 4 about all the horses and horsemen and armor and all that. That's all the military might. Russia's going to unleash everything within this arsenal. All right. Verse 5, it says Persia, which the Persians today are the Iranians, and it's a well-known fact. In fact, they changed their name. I forget the year they changed their name. It wasn't that long ago. Roughly, I don't want to put really a year on it, but just Google. Matter of fact, I'll go to it right now. Let's go to it right now. We're gonna type in Iranians. Here Iran. Let's see. Here Iran. A year Persia. Year Persia changed its name. Changed its name to Iran. Let's go to Slovakia. Alright, so 1935 was the year that Persia became Iran. Alright, because they know that they was the biblical Persians. You see, that goes hand in hand with real quick, let's go to the book of perfect. Let's type this in. Because that was Esau, a part of Esau's doing. Getting the Persians to change their names. The book of Isaiah 25, verse 7, it says that he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations, which is the nation's true nationality. The Most High destroyed that, and that's why through the Spirit probably we're able to go in the Scripture and identify the nations. All right, because the Iranians know that they're the Persians, and they know that they're the biblical Persians that was once a part of the Medo-Persian Empire. All right, the whole kingdom, the old actual empire that stood. They was a part of that Medo-Persian Empire. All right, so I want to erase that. Let's go back to the map. Keep that queued up. All right. So Persia is the Iranians today. They're gonna actually be alongside Russia. All right, Gog and Magog. All right. Let's go back to Ezekiel 38. I was at about 5. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Now, who was Togomar? Togomar, when you go to the map, let's go back to the map. It's Turkey today. All right, and Turkey is when you look at the actual recent tensions. The last maybe couple years or so, like because a lot of things been going on concerning prophecy, right? These prophecies been unfolding, right? But the tension between Turkey and the U.S. Because the U.S. don't like the fact that they bought them Russian S-400s, the missile defense system that Russia had have produced, and state of the art. It's the state of the art missile defense system. It's the best out there, and the U.S. knows it. And with Turkey being a member of NATO, of course the U.S. is against that. All right, and any of the NATO members to buying Russian military equipment. All right, because it's the top of the line. All right? And the U.S. knows it, so they do anything to hurt. They do anything to try to hurt Russia economically. You know. Um, let's go back to the article. Sorry. Let's go back to the article. Read some more of the article. It says, yeah. So the Biden administration last Thursday scrubbed sending 2 U.S. warships to the Black Sea after the Kremlin warned, "Stay away for your own good" to the deployment. Right, and then the Black Sea is right there. If you look at the map right here, the Black Sea, you see the Black Sea between, excuse me, where it says Gomer, Magog, Togomar, and Gomer. It's right there by Istanbul, right there near the Bulgaria, right? But you see the Black Sea, right? So the Black Sea right now has naval fleets, military naval fleets in it. Russia have its naval fleets, and then you have a couple of members of NATO, like Britain has the naval ships, and U.S. sending naval ships over there. So this World War III tension is really brewing. All right, it's really brewing. Okay. It says, let's go down to the next paragraph. It says the U-turn came shortly before the White House slapped sanctions on Russia for its interference in the 2020 presidential election and for the SolarWinds hack that infiltrated the computers of hundreds of government agencies and private sector businesses. So that's U.S. claim, which is a bold-faced lie. And Russia, no, the whole community, the whole international community of the United Nations, they know that the U.S. is lying and making up false accusations, and Russia is not having it. And then with the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia have actually been waiting to give the U.S. a bloody nose, if you will, all right, so to speak, all right, because the the USSR fell, and Russia have been bitter about that ever since the USS fell apart, all right. It says a senior administration official said the administration did not want the already tense situation in the region to spin out of control, which, yes, you did, because that's the reason why Joe Biden called Vladimir Putin a killer. They've been poking at Russia, and so Russia is now responding because Russia actually placed sanctions back on America. All right. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin responded to the sanctions by expelling 10 U.S. diplomats, high-level diplomats, by the way. I watched the news about it. Well, I was listening to the news about it. It says, and threatened to carry through on other retaliatory moves as part of the charged showdown between the two superpowers. See, everyone knows about the tensions between the U.S. and the U.S. steadily poking at Russia, and even the U.S. allies or members of NATO. They don't want no problems with Russia because they know how powerful Russia is, right? It says, let me finish up this precept. Let's go back to Ezekiel 38 and 6. It says, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tergomar, which is Turkey. Turkey gonna come up against the U.S., Babylon. The house of Tergomar of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, that's why, because Russia have actually been protecting them small countries that the U.S., the Babylon been trying to destroy and gain as a strategic move to surround Russia with military personnel. All right, so the U.S. been basically trying to bogart and create strongholds around Russia's borders. That's what's going on. All right, the U.S. and NATO countries. It says, oh, Slacky, let me let's go to the book of Jeremiah. It said Jeremiah 50. Come on. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. I'm going to go right to the point, verse 3. It says, For out of the north, well, actually, let's start at the top. I start at the top, verse 1. It says, The word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Verse 3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Yeah, that north country, when you look at the map, even the map I'm showing, which is the biblical map I'm showing, the north, the furthest north country over on that side of the earth is Russia. All right, Russia is going to be the main country that's going to come out. That's what the scriptures is saying in the book of Jeremiah. All right, the prophet Jeremiah seeing that nation come up against Babylon, and it was Russia. All right, he actually seen the vision. All right, or seen it within the vision that he received. All right, it says, For out of the north country, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Now, it's not talking about the old landmass of Babylon, the old Babylonian Empire. No, it's talking about America. All right, because you go in the scriptures speak about the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. Babylon the Great. All right, it's another one that it calls. All right, this place you call America. All right, also known as Babylon the Great. Okay, and this is the land that the Most High Heavenly Father is going to make desolate. All right, most desolate. It says none shall dwell therein. All right. In fact, let's go to the book of Isaiah. In fact, let's go to 34. Isaiah 34. And I'm going to go right to the point. Verse 5. I'm going to read on down 6. It says, Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Now, Idumea is a Greek word for Edom. Esau, the so-called white man, give it their elites on down. The main focal point of Edom or Idumea, the capital being America. America is also known as Basra, because Basra was the capital of Esau's rulership, or Esau's possession as far as land. And today, Esau is not in the seer. No, Esau is in the ruling seat, and he's controlling. He's in the ruling seat, and the main central point of his rulership is America. Everyone knows that America is the central the central point that Esau uses to keep or to oppress countries and to use as military might across this globe. All right, to do the bidding of the central banking families, or the elites of Esau. America spearheads, like this war on terror. The U.S. is one in the forefront. All right, that's how we know it's Basra. All right, and that's one way you know it's Basra at least. All right, verse 6 says, the sword of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, had the sacrifice in Basra and the great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Yeah, because this is the main land that Idumea controls and give out orders to the rest of the world. The U.S. right, so-called America. Okay. All right. So this and going to matter of fact, and going to Isaiah 14 chapter, what does the Most High say He's going to do? Because remember, it said in Jeremiah that none shall dwell therein, right? So let's go to the book of Isaiah 14. Let's go to verse. Well, we start at verse 22. It says, "For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua of hosts, and cut off from Babylon, Babylon the name, and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. I will also make it a possession for the bitter, and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts." It says, Yahweh of hosts has sworn, saying, "Surely as I have thought, so shall they come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand." Yeah, the Most Heavenly Father is going to destroy America. All right. The scriptures say, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord power upon the simple kingdom." America is that simple kingdom. All right, let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Get more precepts on how the Most High is going to make this land desolate. Jeremiah chapter 49. They're going to go to verse. Come. 13. It says, "For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh." In all caps, it says that'll be Yahweh, the Most Heavenly Father, right? It says, "For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste." Now, it's not, the Most High is not talking about going to the actual land of Seir and wasting Basra. He's talking about America, all right? It's a metaphor for America, all right? Because America, like I said, is the capital, all right, of Esau's rulership. It says, "For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste." Verse 14, "I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill." You know, Esau's the top. He's the top government, because he's in the ruling class, or he's in the ruling seat, Salakia. It says, "Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. Also Edom shall be a desolation, every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof." Right, because you know why? America is going to be hit with so many plagues, because the Most High is going to wipe this place off the face of the earth. Right? Verse 18, it says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? It was burnt with fire from heaven. Right? Those ICBM missiles is going to be the thing that take this place out. Okay, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there. See, no one's going to dwell here in this land no more. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. You know, so America is that land. All right, America is that land. Matter of fact, let's go to that, which I quoted, but let's get it in the book of Amos. All right, Mosai's gonna bring out Russia, man. When this World War III kicks off, they're gonna come against this place, man. Along with the U.S. allies, man. You know, Amos 9 and verse 8, it says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the simple kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua." Yeah, you know, see, at first Israel, became, we as a nation became that simple kingdom. You had Israelites being wicked, right? But it also applies to Esau as well, because Esau is that simple kingdom. All right, this place, Esau is totally against the Most High's law. All right, because what is sin? Breaking the Most High's law. And Esau is known as the man of sin. All right, and the Most High is going to use Edomites as far as Esau, because remember Esau's house is divided. All right, so you're gonna have Edomites taking out Edomites, man. All right, as far as when this World War III kick off, man, because the Russians, they're Edomites, they're the same nation. All right, they know that they're the same nation of people, so-called same race of people. I'm sorry, they know they're the same race of people. All right, but that's Satan being divided against Satan because they're the physical counterparts of Satan. All right, that's why you have so much tension between them two. Though they're the same nation of people, they're against one another. All right, and matter of fact, what do the scriptures say about that? Let's read that, man. I'll quote it, but I'll read it. The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 23. It says, "And he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand." You know, like I said, they're all Edomites, right? They're Russian and the so-called white people over here. They're Edomites. They're from the nation of Esau, Edom. All right, but they're against each other, you know. All right, it says, verse 24, "And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand." Verse 25, "And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end." And that's what we're watching. You know, with these tensions between U.S. and Russia. We're watching the house of Satan come to an end. All right, which is the house of Esau. All right, they're the people. They're the physical people of the spiritual demon Satan. All right. So expect more tension to go on. All right. Let's read some more of this article. It says, Putin also cut off access to the Kerch Strait last week to foreign warships until this fall. The straits link Russia and Crimea, which Putin illegally annexed in 2014, prompting a round of sanctions from the U.S. and its European allies. You know, like I said, really, Crimea belongs to Russia as well. Like I said, it's all part of the old USSR, the Soviet Union. All right, and like I said, the Russian Edomites, they're pissed off about that. They've been waiting. Excuse me. For the opportune time to, like I said, to get at the U.S. about that, about the fall of the Soviet Union. All right, and it's all going to happen because it's a part of prophecy. All right, the book of Habakkuk. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me, Yahweh shall answer me, and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." Right, you know, the vision, you know, the prophecies that the prophets of old seen and had and caused to be written down on paper as they seen the visions. All right, which are prophecies, you know, and the visions or the prophecies that they've seen, all right, of the coming destruction of Esau, all right, it's World War III, which is Armageddon won, the third woe. They've seen it in the visions, all right. And we understand it today because of the Most High Heavenly Father, through His Son, given us the knowledge and understanding of the Scriptures, and more importantly, to understand prophecy. Verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." And as a result, you see the prophecies, coming to pass, and is unfolding. All right, these prophecies are being made manifest before our very eyes. All right, and that's why so much is going on right now, because we're living in a time of prophecies being fulfilled and judgments coming to pass. All right. So with that, I'm gonna end it right there, and I'm gonna say, Lord willing, it was edifying to those of you that may have tuned in and listened or watched this video. Lord willing, you was edified in the spirit. And I'm gonna give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbat Shemakakodash again, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. All right. Till next time, Shalom.